Hello and welcome to Toy and Stitches. In this video, I am putting together two of my absolute favorite crochet things. One, my favorite style of cardigan, and two, my favorite summer crochet stitch. That is the mesh or filet stitch, and my favorite style of cardigan, the hexagon cardigan. So I put the two together, and if you're as excited about that as I am, then let's dive in. To make my cardigan, I'm going to be using the Lion Brand Comfy Cotton Blend yarn. This yarn is a blend of polyester and cotton. It has been discontinued, and it's been discontinued for quite some time. I will leave in the description all the specifications for this yarn, as well as how much of it I used for my project. I will also leave some available options for cotton that I do like as well, so you have kind of an idea of what else you could use for this project. So along with this yarn, I'm going to be using a 6.5 millimeter hook. You're also going to need your tape measure, tapestry needle, and some scissors. So grab your supplies and let's get started. To start our project, we are first going to need to create a ring to work into. So to do that, I'm going to make a slip knot, place the slip knot on my hook, and I'm going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to slip stitch to the first chain in order to create a ring, and then I will be working into that ring. Now you can use any method that you use to make granny squares or hexagon cardigans. I just prefer this one for this particular cardigan because it's an open stitch and it doesn't give me a lot of room to work into to make sure that the regular magic ring doesn't come undone. So I've created my ring, and now I'm going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this chain 5 counts as a double crochet and chain 2. And now into the ring, we're going to yarn over and work a double crochet, and then chain 1. And now we're going to yarn over and go back into the ring and work a double crochet, chain 2. And that's how we're going to work all the way around. We're going to work 1 double crochet, chain 1, then a double crochet, chain 2. And we're going to continue working all the way around, working a double crochet, chain 1, then a double crochet, chain 2, until we have 12 double crochets, 6 chain 2 spaces, and 6 chain 1 spaces. So I'm going to work all the way around and then come back and count everything to make sure I have all the stitches that I need. Okay, so I've worked all the way around, and first I'm going to count my double crochets. So from the beginning, my chain 3 counts as a double crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 12 double crochet. Now I'm going to count my chain 2 spaces. So we started with a chain 2 space. So that's 1, that is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I have the correct number of chain 2 spaces. Now I'm going to go back around and count my chain 1 spaces. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now to close off my first round, I need to chain 1 and then join. So once you worked your first round, you should have 12 double crochet stitches, 6 chain 2 spaces, and 6 chain 1 spaces. So once you have all of those stitches, then we will close our first round. So I made my last chain 1, and now I'm going to join to the third chain. So in the beginning we chain 5. You want to find the third chain and then work a slip stitch to join. And that is the end of round 1. So now for round 2, we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this chain 4 counts as a double crochet and a chain 1. And now we have our chain 2 space, and into our chain 2 space we're going to work a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. And now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to work directly into the top of this double crochet. And now we're going to chain 1, skip over this chain 1 space and work a double crochet in the top of this double crochet here. And now we've come up to our next chain 2 space. So now we're going to chain 1 and work into the chain 2 space, a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. Now we will chain 1 and work into the top of this double crochet here. Chain 1, skip over this chain 1 space and work into this next double crochet. Now we're at our next chain 2 space, so we chain 1 and then work into the chain 2 space, a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. And now we chain 1 and work into this double crochet here. Then we chain 1 and work into the next double crochet. We're at our next chain 2, so we chain 1 into the chain 2 space, work a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 1, work into this double crochet here, chain 1, work into the next double crochet, chain 1. Now we're into a chain 2 space, so that is a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and then we chain 1, work into the top of this double crochet here, chain 1, work into the next double crochet, chain 1, and now we're into our final chain 2 space. We'll work a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 1, work into the top of this double crochet here. And now to finish our round, we have a chain space right here, so we're going to chain 1 and we are going to slip stitch to the third chain of this chain 4 from the beginning of the round. So 1, 2, 3, and work a slip stitch in that third chain to close round 2. And now for round 3, we're going to repeat what we did for round 2. So we're going to start by chaining 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the chain 4 counts as a double crochet, chain 1. There's a chain space here. We're going to skip over that, and then we're going to work into this double crochet here. And now we're into a chain 2 space, so we will chain 1, then work into the chain 2 space, a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and now we'll chain 1 and work into this double crochet, chain 1, work into the next double crochet, chain 1, work into the next double crochet, chain 1, work into the next double crochet, chain 1. Now we have a chain 2 space, so we will work into the chain 2 space, a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. Now we chain 1, work into the next double crochet, 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 and now we're at our next chain 2 space, so we chain 1 and then work into the chain 2 space, a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. And that's how you're going to continue working all the way around. So you're going to chain 1, work into a double crochet, chain 1, work into a double crochet until you get to your next chain 2 space, where you work into the chain 2 space, a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet all the way around. So continue working and I'll meet you to finish off round 3. Coming up to the end of the round, and I'm going to work into my final double crochet. Then I'm going to chain 1 and slip stitch to the 3rd chain to close the round. And this is what our piece should start to look like. And we're just working double crochet chain 1s along the sides, and then when we get to our corners, we're working a double crochet chain 2 into the chain 2 space and continuing to work chain 1 double crochet, chain 1 double crochet around. So we're essentially just working the mesh stitch like we would flat, just in our hexagon. So I'll start off round 4 with you, and then I'll leave you to continue working. So to start the round, we chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we work into the next double crochet because this counts as a double crochet chain 1. We're skipping the chain 1 space, working into the next double crochet, chain 1, work into the next double crochet, chain 1. Now we're working into a chain 2 space, so that's a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and then we chain 1, work into the next double crochet, and then we do chain 1, work into the next double crochet all the way along this side until we get to our next chain 2 space. And now when we get to our next chain 2 space, we always make sure we chain 1 before working into the chain 2 space, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 1, work into the next double crochet, and then continue working all the way around. So continue working all the way around, and I'll meet you to finish off round 4. I'm coming up to the end of round 4. I'm going to work into my last double crochet, then I'm going to chain 1, slip stitch to the 3rd chain to close this round. So now from this point, I'm just going to continue working until my piece is a little bit larger, and then I'll come back and show you how to measure things out. If you are familiar with hexagon cardigans and you know what size you're going to make it, then you can just work until this half is the size you want it to be, and then I'll show you how to finish off the first side. So I'm just going to continue working and come back to show you how to make some measurements, and then we'll move on from there. Okay, so I've worked quite a few rounds up until this point. I've worked 14 rounds, and I'm going to measure out to see how close I am to my bust measurement, because that's what I'm trying to work out here, is how close have I gotten to my bust measurement. So I'm just going to fold my piece in half like this, get my tape measure, and I'm going to measure it out. And right now across the front here, I have 7 inches. So on this half of the cardigan, it's going to give me 14 inches. My overall bust measurement is 35 inches, and I'm going to be adding in about 2 inches of positive ease. I don't want my cardigan to be oversized. You can make yours as big as you want it to be, but for myself, I do like it to fit fairly close. So now I'm up to 14 inches on this side, and on this side, I need to get up to about 17. So what I will do is I will work another 1.5 inches in rounds, and then I will stop and add the extra 1.5 inches on the back of the cardigan. So you just want to work until you are achieving a little less than half of your bust measurement, or if you're working it oversized, just continue to work until this side of the piece is the size that you want it, and then we will move on from there. Okay, so I've worked a total of 17 rounds and I've measured it out. It's right where I want it to be at 8.5 inches. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my yarn, fasten off, and then I'm going to seam across the shoulder. Now to work the seam across the shoulder, I'm not going to be sewing, I'm actually going to be crocheting my seam. So I'm going to grab my hook, I'm going to grab my yarn, and I'm going to make a slip knot. Place this slip knot on my hook. And now I'm going to find a corner. So I'm going to find this corner here, and I'm going to insert my hook into this corner. I'm going to work a slip stitch to join my yarn to the piece. And now I'm going to chain 3. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And now I'm going to yarn over, grab the back half of the piece and insert into that chain 2 space on the other side. Yarn over and work a double crochet. And now I'm going to chain 1. And I will work a double crochet in this double crochet right here. Yarn over, find the corresponding double crochet on the other side, work a double crochet in the top of that stitch, chain 1, work a double crochet in the next stitch, yarn over, work a double crochet in the next stitch on the back, chain 1, and repeat. So we're going to work a double crochet in the front, yarn over, double crochet on the back, chain 1, double crochet in the next stitch on the front, yarn over, double crochet in the next stitch on the back, chain 1, and that's how we're going to continue working all the way across the shoulder. So go ahead and do that, and I will meet you at the end of the row. I'm coming up to the end of the row on my shoulder seam, and we want to finish off by ensuring that we work into the chain 2 space on the front and on the back. So I'm going to chain 1 and then yarn over, insert into the chain 2 space at the end of the row, work a double crochet, then yarn over, work a double crochet in the chain 2 space on the back of the shoulder. And then that's how we're going to finish off the row. So at this point, I will cut my yarn and I'm going to fasten off. And this is what your shoulder seam is going to look like. It's going to be pretty much invisible from the filet stitch that we did on the body and the shoulder seam. So you'll have a nice clean finish and you won't know where you joined the piece. So at this point, I'm going to now go ahead and I'm going to add a few rows on the back. So in order to do that, you just have to decide which side of the body this piece is going to sit on. For me, this is going to be the right side. So I'm going to do it on here, because if it's laying flat like this, if it's going on the right side of my body, I would flip it this way. So my arm would go in and this would be the back. So now I'm going to work some rows on the back of the cardigan here. So I'm just going to turn my piece, grab my yarn, make a slip knot, place the slip knot on my hook and find the corner, the chain 2 space, and I will work a slip stitch to join into the chain 2 space. Then I'm going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the chain 4 is going to count as a double crochet and a chain 1. And now I'm going to work a double crochet into this double crochet right here. Chain 1, skip the chain space, work a double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the next double crochet, and that's how I'm going to work all the way down, just like we had been before. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll meet you when I get to the chain 2 space at the end of the row. Coming up to the end of my row, I've worked a double crochet in the last stitch just before the chain 2 space. So now I will chain 1, yarn over, and work 1 double crochet into that chain 2 space. Now I'm going to turn my work. I'm going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That counts as a double crochet, chain 1. So we're going to skip over the chain 1 and then just double crochet in the next double crochet. Chain 1, work a double crochet in the next double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet in the next double crochet all the way across the row. So I'm going to go ahead, finish this row and work 1 additional row, because on the back of my piece I'm adding 1.5 inches, and for me that is 3 rows. So however much space you're adding at the back here, just go ahead and work your rows until you've reached that desired measurement, and then I'll come back and we'll go on to extend our sleeve. I've completed my 3 rows to extend the back section of my cardigans, and I'm going to cut my yarn and fasten off. And this is what it looks like laid flat. So I have these extra rows along the back just to create some room around the neck, and then to also give the cardigan a little bit more room, so I'm getting up to my desired bust measurement. Now from this point, I am going to now start working on my sleeve. And once I've completed this sleeve, then I'll just go and make my second half. So to start our sleeve, we're going to join our yarn, and I'm going to do that right at where this seam ended. So I'm going to grab my yarn, make a slip knot, place the slip knot on my hook, and now I'm going to join to my sleeve. And to do that, I am going to find the top of these 2 stitches because they are connected. So you have 1 stitch here and 1 here. So I'm just going to insert my hook into this space here and just join sort of around the top of those 2 stitches. So I'm just going to work a slip stitch and tighten that down to join. And now I'm going to chain 4. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I have this double crochet here, and for each, if you were working into the side of the stitch, you would work 2 stitches, but what we're going to do is skip the top half of the stitch and then work a double crochet in the base of the stitch there. So just yarn over, and right at the base of the stitch here, you're going to insert under the 2 loops on the side of the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and work a double crochet. So then that way you have this chain 4 as a double crochet and a chain 1. You have a space here, and then you've worked your stitch here. So now this is the chain 2 space where we had the corner. We're going to chain 1, which then accounts because when we worked this stitch, we worked around 1 chain. Now we have another chain. So we're going to skip that chain and then work into the top of this double crochet. So that chain here creates our chain space, so we stay in pattern. So now we chain 1 and work a double crochet in the next stitch. Chain 1, work a double crochet in the next stitch, and you're just going to work like that all the way around. So go ahead and do that, and then I'll meet you and show you how to finish off this first round. Okay, so I'm coming up to the end of the row here, and this is the double crochet that was a part of this corner. So I'm going to chain 1, work into the top of that double crochet, chain 1, find the base of this double crochet here and work a double crochet into the base of that stitch. And then we're going to chain 1 and find the 3rd chain from our starting chain 4 and slip stitch to that 3rd chain to close the round. And that's the end of round 1. Now for round 2, I'm going to chain 4 and just continue working in pattern. So as I said, to start your next round, you're going to chain 4 and then work a double crochet in your next stitch. Chain 1, double crochet in the top of your next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in your next double crochet all the way around, and you're just going to continue working in rounds until your sleeve is as long as you want it to be. I'm not going to be adding any ribbing to the end of the sleeve, to the wrist, so you can just continue working, trying it on as you go, and once you've achieved your desired sleeve length, then you can just fasten off and go ahead and make your second half. And once you have both halves completed, then I'll meet you and we'll put the pieces together. I have finished both halves of my cardigan. I've done my sleeves. I didn't add ribbing to the wrist. So both halves are finished. And now at this point, our next step is to join the 2 halves together. And I'm going to do that the same way I did across the shoulder, going down the back here. So once you're at this point, you want to grab your yarn and your hook, and now we'll join both halves together, and then we'll extend the hemline. To start the join of the 2 pieces together, I have my pieces laid flat with the right side facing me. So the right side's facing upwards, and I'm going to grab my yarn, make a slip knot, and place that slip knot on my hook. And I'm going to, at the base, just grab the first stitch, and I'm going to insert my hook into this first stitch here and work a slip stitch to join my yarn. And now I'm going to chain 3. And now I'm going to yarn over, grab the other side, find the first stitch, insert my hook into this first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 to complete my double crochet. So now on either side I have a double crochet and a double crochet. Now I'm going to chain 1, skip the chain 1 space, work a double crochet in the next stitch on this side here, yarn over, work a double crochet in the next stitch on the other side, chain 1, double crochet on this half, yarn over, double crochet on the other side, chain 1, and that's how we're going to continue working all the way up the back of the cardigan to join the 2 halves together, just working a double crochet on one side, a double crochet on the other side, then chaining 1 and repeating that all the way across. So continue working just like that, and I'll meet you to finish off the row. I'm coming up to the end of the row. I'm going to chain 1, and then I have my turning chains to work into. So I'm going to yarn over and find the 3rd chain of that chain 4 on this side and work a double crochet, and then yarn over and find the 3rd chain from the chain 4 on this side and work a double crochet there. And then I will just work a slip stitch, cut my yarn, and fasten off. And then now from this point, we're going to move on to extending the hemline. To extend the hemline, I'm just going to create a slip knot, place the slip knot on my hook, and then just join to the corner at the front on one side of the cardigan, doesn't matter which side. So just insert your hook, work a slip stitch to join your yarn, then chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then work a double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the next double crochet, and that's how you're going to work all the way around the hemline. I'm going to work until I get to the back section here where we have the rows that we use to extend each side of the cardigan, just to show you how to work across the side of these stitches, and then you can continue around. So just continue working and I'll meet you when I get to this section here. Okay, so I've worked into the last stitch before I start working across the back here, and all I'm going to do is work 1 stitch and 1 chain for each row. So for this row here, I'm going to yarn over and just go around that stitch, work a double crochet, then chain 1, and then move to the next row, yarn over, work around the stitch, chain 1, yarn over, next row, insert around the stitch, work a double crochet, chain 1, yarn over, find the next row, insert around the stitch, double crochet, chain 1, and you're just going to keep doing that across the back until you get back to the other side. All right, so I've worked a double crochet around this last row here before I am back to working into the tops of the stitches on the other side of the cardigan. So I've worked a double crochet around this stitch. Now I'm going to chain 1 and then just work directly into the top of the next double crochet on this side, just like that, skipping over like that chain 1, and then just continue working across. So you're going to chain 1, work into the next stitch, chain 1, work into the next stitch. So just go ahead and do that and I'll meet you at the end of the row. I'm coming up to the end of the row. I've worked a double crochet in the last double crochet, so all I have to do now is chain 1 and work 1 double crochet in this chain 2 space to finish off. And now I'm going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, turn my work, and just work across the hem. So that's all we're going to do from this point. We're just going to be working back and forth in rows until our cardigan is as long as we want it to be. So you can go ahead and do that, and I will meet you once I have my cardigan the length that I want it to be. I finished extending my hemline. I added about 12 inches onto the hemline. So now my cardigan sits below my hips. And once you're at this point, you don't have to fasten off. We're just going to start working directly up the front of the cardigan. So up the front and around just to finish off. And what we're going to do, so from our last stitch here, I'm just going to chain one. And now I'm going to work 2 single crochet around this double crochet here. I'm not going to go into the side of the stitch. I'm just going to insert my hook around the stitch, work a single crochet and then another single crochet, then over to the next row, work 2 single crochets around that double crochet, and onto the next row, 2 single crochets around the end of that row, all the way up. And then once you get to the part where you're going to start working into the tops of the stitches, you're going to be working a single crochet into the chain one space, a single crochet into the double crochet, single crochet into the chain one space, single crochet into a double crochet, all the way up. So continue working up this first side of the cardigan, and I'll meet you when we get to the point where the front of the cardigan meets the back, and then I'll leave you to carry on. Okay, I'm coming up to the section where the front of the cardigan meets the back, where we worked those extra rows to join the 2 pieces together. And this chain 3 and this double crochet here, they were both worked into a chain 2 space. So when you're working around these stitches, you're going to work 1, 2 single crochets around this one. And just ensuring you're not working into the chain 2 space, just go directly across and work 2 double crochet around the next double crochet, just so you're not adding in any additional stitches. And now you're just going to work across around the sides of these rows here, working 2 double crochet around each, 2 single crochet around each double crochet across the back, and then just go down the front. I'm going to be working 2 rows of single crochet to finish off my cardigan. So I'm going to go ahead, finish this row, and then work a second row, and I'll meet you once I have both rows complete. I've completed my 2 rows of single crochet, and now I'm going to just fasten off, weave in all my ends, and I will also be giving my piece a steam block. I always suggest blocking open stitches because they do have a tendency to kind of pull in and collapse on themselves. So you want to just give it a little steam block just to open everything up so you get the full effect of this stitch pattern. But after you've woven in all your ends, give it a steam block and all the things, you will be done. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you have any question, please leave those in the comments. I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. And thank you so much for watching. Until next time, take care and bye for now.